Live at the epicenter of the coronavirus, I talked to a respiratory specialist and an English teacher, both living in the hardest hit province, to get their first-hand accounts in our special series, Inside the Epidemic. And China's efforts to fight the virus are in full gear, but the world's economic engine may have a slower start this year. And how will the coronavirus impact the global economy? Welcome to The Point, an opinion show coming to you live from Beijing. I'm Liu Xin. This week I'll be talking to people from different walks of life who have one thing in common, being first-hand witness to the novel corona pneumonia outbreak. What are their personal stories and how has the epidemic affected their lives? Welcome to Inside the Epidemic, a special series coming to you from The Point. Earlier, I talked to Dr. Zhou Qiong, who has been working in the Department of Respiratory and Critical Care Medicine of Wuhan Union Hospital. In late January, 14 medical staff from her hospital had been infected by the virus, prompting concerns about sustained people-to-people transmission of the virus. They have all since been discharged from hospital. So I understand your responsibility is to take care of the medical staff, the doctors or nurses who have been infected by the virus while treating patients. And how about the situation of those who are under treatment? Are they severe or are they only suffering mild symptoms?
In our hospital, there's no doctors or nurses died from the virus. And actually at this time, the undergoing treatment of our doctors or nurses are stable.
Oh, could you help us also understand with what you are helping your colleagues? Do they take Western medicine? Do they take Chinese medicine or a combination of these medicine? Is there anything you can share with other doctors who are watching us who might be faced with this kind of challenge?
Apart supportive care, there's no effective antiviral drugs or vaccines now. So I think keeping good mind is very important in the fighting this coronavirus infection. So every day we give them the supportive care, and we tell them we take care of them all the time, and everything is okay. You just have a good sleep, have good rest, and stay optimistic for everything. This is important, I think.
Basically, you're saying people need to relax and believe in themselves, believe in the in this fight without being extremely frustrated or angry or nervous. Or is that what you're saying? The psychological side of the patient, in the belief that they can recover?
Yes, because the most important to fight with virus is the neutralizing antibody. The neutralizing antibody is produced by our immune system. So only in the good status for people, and the immune system can work properly. And after a time, when the neutralizing antibody is produced, we'll win.
How about the psychological well-being of the medical community, I would say, in Wuhan? I understand that the hospitals have been totally overwhelmed. Maybe the situation is better, but it has been a very difficult period of time. What is the morale of people? How are the medical communities holding on to the fight?
Yeah, maybe at the beginning of the fight, our medical staff have been nervous, somewhat nervous. Yeah, I think so. But after we have to take care of our patients, it's our colleagues at the same time. And after about 2 weeks in hospital, they are recovered very soon. So this is very optimistic for us. And I think this is important role in eliminate our worries because, you know, for most of our colleagues are worked in the front line to fight with the coronavirus infection now.
We have heard actually stories, news reports about medical staff being infected or even lost their lives having worked at the front line at the hand of the virus. How does such news affect you? What is your thought?
Yes, it's very depressed by the bad news, especially when we heard our medical staff has died by this virus infection. Yeah, but now it's our turn to take part in the fight. Actually, now it's not respiratory doctors to fight. It's all the medical staff in China to fight it.
How has it been for your family? Because you are exposed to, you have been at a high-risk profession, and yet you still have to go home, you still have to communicate with them. I know you try to isolate yourself as much as you can, but what has been the psychological toll on your family member?
Yeah, actually my family, my husband and my daughter, worry about it. But I told them it's my work, it's my duty, whatever. And I stayed in a separated room in my home when I stay at home. And I will tell them to promote the precautions to protect themselves. And for example, the hand washing and use masks at home or outside. And yes. Yeah, they understand and support me.
Finally, is there anything else you want to share with us? Any story, any touching moment you want to share with us?
In my patient, there is a nurse whose name is Zhou. She has infected with coronavirus and influenza at the same time. There are two viruses at one person. She is very brave. At that time, she is a patient. But she tried her best to help the other nurses in the world to help the other patients. Yeah, she's supporting me very well.
Indeed, very, very touching moments, and our hearts are with you guys, and I hope the very best to all of you fighting at the front line of this epidemic. Thank you so much, Ms. Zhou Qiong.